Hi guys, it's Harvey from All Parts Pool and Spa. For all you Jandy owners, everybody talks, hey, you always talk about Hayward and Stay Right and stuff. How about Jandy and these other heaters? Okay, my first pet peeve on the Jandys, the Haywards, anything with a metal cabinet, anything that is metal right here. 99% of the codes and your owner's manual simply put, if this metal cannot touch wood, no ends, no ifs, no buts. Okay, this is the first thing. And what happens is, say argument's sake, this heater starts sooting up, and I'll tell you, explain to you why. Okay, what happens is the heat starts transferring lower than going out. What it's capable of, and you screwed this down for wind protection and whatever, and you screwed it down, that heat transfer gets like a magnifying glass to this wood or anything that is combustible. Okay, it'll start a fire. I already seen it happen. Okay, I 2 years ago I had a Jandy somebody replaced, and they put a stay right unit, and the stay right unit kept on tipping. They couldn't understand why. It just kept wobbling back and forth. Well, it was a Jandy, and there was a burn spot on the piece of deck, and that's how they installed this stay right. They installed it on burnt lumber that was very, very paper thin, and the stay right unit keep walking back and forth making water leaks. And they were saying, Harvey, this thing walking back and forth, there's a problem with the unit, and you touch it and it would wobble. So I disconnected the stay right unit, and sure enough, there was a melted piece of lumber right here. So this basically tells you that you can buy a concrete slab, make sure that you do have holes for drainage. There are kits you can buy from Jandy to raise this off. All right, and we're going to scroll down and tells you minimum that we'll get in clearances. Right now I'm talking about placing it. So if you have a Jandy or a Hayward heater that is just sitting on lumber, it's wrong. Fix it. Take the time before you burn your house down. The other thing you'll say, okay, Harvey, well, we'll put blocks in, and there might be 20 or 30 blocks. Well, that is wrong, because the heat transfer the flames dripping down, because the heater didn't trip out yet, is capable of dripping down between these blocks and still causing fire. So they want a solid surface. So here's your blocks, must be aligned and secured. Here's your wood, and then they want a minimum gauge, 24-inch gauge galvanized steel. One sheet of galvanized steel. So yes, you can have blocks. They don't have to be solid, but you have to have a solid piece of steel. Okay, and these blocks are fireproof. Okay, don't put, okay, well, blocks, let me put some 2x4s and a sheet of steel. I've seen that happen before, so that's why I figured I'd mention it. All right, so if you buy a Jandy heater, they have these conversion kits. If you're going on wood, they're nice. They're nice conversion kits. Or pour yourself a little concrete pad. They're good. Again, you'll have to. Home Depot doesn't sell these big, huge blocks of concrete. Okay, they sell paving stones. 2 foot by 2 foot. Well, they're illegal too, because it's not solid. All right, it has to be on a solid piece of non-flammable piece of equipment. Again, if it is metal, it can't be sitting on wood. So that's why Stay Right can get away with it, because Stay Right, the SR DD2 models are basically a metal canister, but it's sitting on plastic. All right, So that's how they can get away with it. Not need that. But these metal cabinet heaters, the manual or your local code will simply say you can't set it on this wood. And keep in mind, that's why I always say you need to read and understand your manual on all these heaters. I don't care if they were professionally installed. Your pool builder or whatever goes out and buys whatever they can, and they're experts on everything, and they install it. Not all pool builders. There's some, I don't want to give everybody a bad rap. There's a lot of good pool builders out there. There's some pool builders, let me tell you, that I saw that, I don't know. I couldn't go to sleep at night. But anyway, so you want to meet your minimums. So we're going to label this Jandy Part 1, and it's all about safety. I used to be a warranty station for Jandy in my past life. Jandy and I had argument, so that's why I'm no longer a warranty station with them. It's just the rep was a young kid about 4 years ago, and he didn't last anyway, but they just couldn't meet my needs. I was too needy for them because they just didn't understand. But anyway, that's neither here or there. You still can read their owner's manuals. All right. Again, this is for Jandy, but this meets all your heaters that have a metal bottom. Okay. And the reason why, not to repeat myself, this bottom can transfer heat to your wood, acts like a magnifying glass, sets a fire. The fire goes ahead and starts burning the concrete, not the concrete, but the wood pad. The wood pad is usually right alongside a building or a barn. That goes on fire, and it keeps on going and going and going. And like the Duracell bunny, just keeps on going, okay? What is it? A fire doubles itself every minute. So it can happen real quick, especially if it gets some of these lines on propane line and you start screaming out propane. You lost your house real quick over a $200 install. All right, guys. Again, this is Harvey, All Parts Pool and Spa. Again, this is my opinion and my opinion only. I do not supersede anybody's rights as far as town inspectors, what they want to say, or owner's manuals. I recommend very strongly that you read and understand every piece of owner's manual that you have for your pool and spa equipment. All right, guys, I'm looking forward to having a good summer. Email me if you're looking to have a good summer. Email me to let me know what kind of fun you're looking to have, okay, as far as your pool and stuff, and send me pictures. I mean, I enjoy people having fun. I really do. I know I always talk about the gray and dim things. I never really talk about the good times, but I really still say safety, pool chemistry, fun, okay? All right, guys, this is Harvey from All Parts. Email me your pictures, questions. I would really like some emails and some pictures of some good times. Harvey, allparts@gmail.com. Okay, guys, take care.